Hey everybody, if you've been watching my channel for a long time, if you've been a Belfry bat for a long time, you may recognise this lovely space as the space where I filmed all my videos to start with, all my first videos. Seems only appropriate to do that again while I'm here. Anyway, I thought we'd just do a quick Q&A. There have been so many hot topics lately, stuff online to argue about and discuss lately that I didn't really know where to start or what to say next in a video, so I thought I'd leave it up to you and we'd do a Q&A and I would just answer whatever questions you wanted to hear about. Okay, so that's 930 comments. What are your opinions on people who are into goth fashion, music and lifestyle but don't really act upon it, don't look or dress it? Actually, on the con, on the weekend, the dark side of the con, I'm going to be in New Jersey. I hope you're going to be there too. I've been asked to join in on another panel called like What is Goth? I think that's what it's about, so I feel like that's what we'll be discussing on that panel. That is a whole other video, and it's such a controversial, it's such a subjective argument, like what is goth, that's too big of a thing to answer here. If you're moving back to Germany, will Mr. L be joining you? Well, I'm not able to move back to Germany because Notey and I have separated. We're actually going to get a divorce in a few days, can't wait for that. Oh boy. My residence permit is no longer valid, so I won't be moving there. Or staying there rather. Captain Roger 77, one time you said that you feel makeup as a part of you, that you feel almost naked without of it. On days when you are chilling at home by yourself, do you still do a full face of makeup? Nah, like I kind of used to, like sorry I'm playing with my hair so much, it looks really crap. I'm just trying to make it look vaguely less crap. I don't know if that's even possible. Like in the past, I think when I didn't have like any stuff to go to or whatever, or when I was just really self-conscious and younger, I would wear makeup every day, all the time, just to go to the dairy or go to the supermarket or something. But now I'm like, it's not super good for the skin and I can't be bothered, and what's the point, and don't waste makeup. If I'm gonna hang out at home by myself all day, I just won't wear makeup. I'll put on like moisturizer or a bit of powder or something to go out. But I've really like become, I still don't like my face without makeup on it, and I still feel like when I'm putting makeup on that I'm putting the rest of my face on. That's just how it feels, but I think that's how a lot of people feel. But I don't feel as self-conscious anymore with a bare face. Drowning fears, have you decided where you're going to live yet, considering you're engaged to Mr. L? Hope your mental health is better. Love you. Oh, I love you too. Yeah, my mental health isn't super. I'm just thankful for my medication. Yeah, I have been thinking about where I'm gonna live, but I don't want to like sort of say anything in case I jinx myself, because I'm going through this long difficult process at the moment. Mostly I'm scared at the moment. I'm just scared because I don't know what's coming. I don't know what the future holds. Everything's kind of up in the air. I feel like I'm walking on a fragile frozen lake. I don't know if the ground's gonna crack beneath me or if there's anything to hang on to. So I'm really scared. I have I have anxiety disorder. Well, I have a panic disorder. I have a panic disorder anyway, but I'm just generally super stressed. And you know, I think anybody would be in the same situation. And she also asks, what about your kitties? My kitties have been very well looked after. What am I going to do with this piece of hair? My kitties have been well looked after. They have been in a very nice cattery that they've been to before. It is run by a vet, so they are looked after all the time by a vet. It's on a farm. They have heaps of space to move around, and they have a view of other farm animals. How do I say that? Dana? Hey, I'm excited to read your novel if you've published it soon. Can you say anything about the genre? Sending love and light. Oh, thank you for the love and light. You can always want to spread some of that around. I've about finished it. I've been working on it really a lot. I've decided that there's one subplot that I think could be better, so that's holding me up at the moment. I'm really excited to get it published. I just want the thing out and done. I want it on paper. I want it out of my brain. The genre is, it's an 18th century dark fantasy, so I don't really read that much fantasy, but I've been working on this project for so long, and it's a fantasy that I started when I was 18, and I based it on stuff that I'd made up when I was a child. It's not like super fantasy, but I don't know if there are any other fantasies that have been set in the like 17th, 18th centuries. So, and it's pretty dark. It's pretty dark. Sivana Black says, I know it's a difficult question. Have you and Mr. L ever considered having kids at some point in the future? Absolutely. Hopefully in the near future. We're both kind of getting old. I know I want them more than he does, but yeah, we have planned on it. Baby bear. Prince Victoria says, what's your opinion on the controversy, or is it controversy or controversy, you decide, of how you're too old to be goth and the amount of free clothes you get, etc. Who's saying I'm too old to be goth? I'm a huge fan, but I feel this latest controversy within the goth community is on goth is too expensive now. Oh yeah, that's a bit of a funny thing. Again, I feel like I can explain that in a whole other video. It's this whole own subject. I don't think anyone's saying that I'm too old to be goth, and if they are, then I know goths in their 50s and 60s. It's something like that you are. It's like who you are. You can't just stop being who you are because it's like that defeats the whole point of the thing, God. And I've been saying forever, even since before, like I think a lot of people have been criticizing me for like promoting clothing a lot, but if you look at the about section of my YouTube channel, it says it's like a fashion channel primarily. They say make videos about things that you're passionate about, and I've always been passionate about fashion. And the fact is, these days it's very easy to get cool gothic stuff. In the past it was like impossible. Even when I was a teenager, when I was in my 20s, like I had to make stuff. I'd go to the op shop and put stuff together, and like that's what you have to do. You don't have to buy these expensive clothes. I've been saying this forever, and even since before I've been talking about and showcasing like more expensive stuff, people have been asking me like, I want to be a goth but I can't afford it. It's like, what do you mean you can't afford it? Just listen to the music, wear black, be yourself. You don't have to wear fancy stuff. That's what I think. But yeah, I guess I'll elaborate more on that subject, since I think a lot of people have asked similar questions on here. Thought about the falsities, you mean falsehoods, falsities? Moonshine bad, that people are spreading about you on YouTube. Yeah, for fuck's sake, again, I want to kind of make another video addressing that, because that's also a loaded question. Well, I think it's a bit shit for people who've never met me to make stuff up about me, make all these assumptions, and go around and tell everyone that they're true, and if I even try to defend myself, they just go, lies! You don't know me, we've never met. If you're talking about a certain situation, such as like the cemetery thing, like being kicked out of a cemetery in Paris, it's like, you weren't there. Like, the story that I said that happened is what happened, and you are welcome to contact the cemetery and ask them. It's really tough. I'm gonna make a video about it, like how to handle the hate, because I you know, when you do YouTube, when you're in the public eye or whatever, you do get a lot of hate, because the fact is you're not going to please everybody, and there's always going to be the occasional crazy person out there who's just looking for reasons to hate you. So they're going to make stuff up, they're going to find things, they want to hate you for whatever reason. Maybe they're just bitter or envious, I don't know, but it's pathetic, and that's what I think. I try to ignore it. I try to ignore people shitting on me or spreading rumors about me, but it's like, I know the truth, and people who know me personally know the truth of things, and I'm just sick of it. It's like, just shut up, fuck off. If you're gonna put that much effort into something, make it something that doesn't hurt others and something that's productive. Goat claw. How do you define happiness? Do you consider that you've accomplished your goals? Oh, there's many questions here. Accomplished your goals and dreams. Have you ever had suicidal thoughts? Far out. Woo! Well, no to the suicidal thoughts. No, I like life. The way I see it is that you have literally billions of years to be dead, but this only very short space to be alive. The fact is, you are alive, you were born, whether or not you think there's a meaning to life, you're here, you might as well have a nice time while you're here. No, I don't consider that I've accomplished all my goals and dreams. I don't know if I ever will, because I can't personally. Like, I'm one of those people, I'm just really ambitious. I'm one of those people that's always got to have goals and projects. I feel like I'm working towards those things. I feel like I'm working towards now the things that I want most in life. So I think it'd be a really good feeling once I've crossed all these hurdles and things that have always been like huge goals. I know that I've done some, but there's always more to go. Heath Eileen, is that how I pronounce that? Do you and Mr. Al have a set date for your wedding? We're thinking late November, December this year, because it will have to be here. It will have to be here in New Zealand. And that's when it's summertime here, so I'll probably be doing it down south in or near my hometown, because that's where my family is based, and his family can travel more easily than mine can. Yes, we haven't set a date yet, but I should probably do that before all the like summer dates get booked up. There's a lot of questions on here about makeup and clothing. It's like, oh, no one wants to hear that stuff. It's like, yes they do, people want to know. A space? Any advice on how to get over the fear from people watching you make videos or fear of the camera? I really want to do vlogs and talk to the camera, but I have anxiety and I'm antisocial as well. Oh, I want people to see how it is to be a young/dark mum. Before I started, my first ever video, I filmed that more than once because I was so nervous. I think the only way to kind of get over it is just to practice, just to keep doing it, and just wear blinkers or whatever. Like, if you're out in public filming yourself, you just pretend that nobody's watching, because no one probably really cares. Yeah, I'd say the only thing you can really do is just practice until you get used to that embarrassed, silly feeling. I don't really know what else I can say apparently, but oh, Voltaire's responded. He actually has some amazing shit on his channel, and if you haven't been to look at it yet, you definitely ought to. Yeah, we talked about that about how you can feel really stupid when you're filming, even just by yourself in a room. I just kind of pretend that I'm like, when I'm sat here like this right now, like it's literally just me and my camera on a stick, but I imagine that I'm talking to you. I imagine that like there's a friend in front of me. Fluffy the Metalhead, I just want to share first with you that your fan base truly appreciates you. Aww. Now for the question, how well do you tolerate spicy snacks? It depends how spicy, and I think it depends on the flavour. I never used to like spicy stuff. Now I'm pretty down for the spicy noodles, and I love anything with jalapenos on it. Oh my god, I love jalapenos. Oh my gosh. So like the Munch Pack box occasionally sends me this candy from Texas maybe. They're called cherry bombs or whatever. They're like these sticky cherry balls. They're sour and sweet, and they have this layer of chili or whatever on the outside, and they're amazing. Wilted little flower, what's going on with you now? Have you moved or anything? Yeah, I'll get back to you on that one. It's going to be a very stressful couple of months. It's going to be very, very busy. I'll keep you guys updated. Literally in a few hours I am on a plane leaving New Zealand. I've been here way longer than I intended to. I'm trying to move. Rika FW, you're on death row. What's your last meal / last words? That's a hard one. That's a good question too. Last meal. I've always said that my favourite food is avocado on toast, which I think makes me a real millennial. But as a child I always loved avocado on toast with a bit of salt on it, so maybe it would be that. My last words, I'd like to think that it would be something funny and clever, something that people are going to write down in one of those books of famous last words. LBX666, what's your viewpoint of evil? Well, that's exactly what I think is a viewpoint in many respects. I always define evil as being something that does no good, like something that's purely harmful, that has no benefit to anyone, just a thing that is purely harmful. Does that make sense? Again, quite a loaded question. Just taking photos for fun. Are there any videos of you figure skating? If so, can we see? Maybe. I actually have dug out a bunch of 8mm tapes from when I was a kid, and I have them here, and I don't know if I'll be bringing them back with me, but there are videos of me ice skating as a little ginger child. Maybe you'll get to see them. Roxanne Ghost, I would love to go to New Zealand one day. The locals generally quite goth friendly. That's difficult. I think people here don't really give that much of a shit. Like they'll think things, but they won't really say things, because New Zealanders tend to be pretty polite. If you go to any of the big cities, people won't give you any shit. If you go to a small town, people might stare at you, but again, they probably won't say anything. Queen of S2S, what do you think of the What We Do in the Shadows TV series that's coming out? Oh, well, I don't know. When I first heard about it, I was like, this had better be amazing. But I have confidence, because I have confidence in Taika Waititi and Jermaine Clement, and the movie was amazing. I think it's set in America. I think they're making it for an American audience, kind of like what Flight of the Conchords did. I don't know who's really involved in this, but if it's anything like Flight of the Conchords, then you'll know it's good. Notey Belfry, if that's how I pronounce that. Not to get too political, but seeing what your take on what happened in New Zealand recently and what's going on in Paris. I don't know super a lot about what's going on in Paris. I don't really read the news. I'm sure there are probably still those riots and stuff going on. It's a funny time for New Zealand, actually. I think a few of you on here are asking about the mosque shootings, and it's a funny time because New Zealand never has things like that happen. Like, this is the first time. Yeah, it's a weird time because like everybody's really on edge. The only thing that's really bothered me about it is everybody trying to blame other things, like saying, oh, it's Donald Trump's fault, or it's Theresa May's fault, or it's the fault of the gun club he was part of, it's the fault of this, it's the fault of that. It's like, it's the fault of the guy who did it. That's what I think. What I do think has been amusing, if anything, is all these people talking online about New Zealand, having probably never even heard of this country before, knowing absolutely nothing about how we do things here, and being shocked at the reaction, like the government's reaction, how they just immediately were like, okay, we're gonna tighten things up with guns. Like, our gun laws are already fairly strict. Like, it's you have to get a license, you have to be vetted first before you can get a firearms license. You can't just like rock up and buy a gun. But they immediately tightened it. People who owned semi-automatic weapons and rifles were like, you know, hunters and farmers and stuff were just like, nah, I don't want this, I'm giving it away, destroy it. They made it illegal and impossible to distribute the dude's manifesto and the video of the event. And yeah, there's a lot I could say. In Christchurch, I think the people there are pretty tough because they've been through so much already. Like, that's the city that's had huge earthquakes, like again and again. That city's been like destroyed more than once. I think that they're saying, oh, you know, white supremacy in this country is a problem. It's like, on one hand, yeah, that guy didn't come from this country though, and as far as I know, like, there isn't some huge white supremacist group not that I know of. So I mean, I don't know, again, loaded question. Far out. Yeah, I don't really want to get political either. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Lolo-chan 05. 5 years, I would like to see myself married to Mr. L, living somewhere nice with a nice stable place to live, hopefully owning a house with some children and pets and stability. That's what I want. I want a nice, normal, stable life. And also by that point, if I haven't made a movie, or like if not a feature film, then at least short films or whatever, or documentaries or something, I'll be super disappointed in myself. Attic Ghost, hey Benedict, are you doing your usual run of festivals this year? Hopefully everything will be fine. I've already been invited to a bunch, which is awesome. I don't know what's happening with my life, so I'm gonna do the best I can to go to all these things, just because they're like, for me, the highlight of the year and I love them. Silver Rose 92, what brings you the most joy in life? Just sublime happiness. Whatever it is, I hope you think of it often and experience it often. Oh, that's so sweet. I hope you get to do that too. I think true happiness comes from, like I said, from within. But I feel like what makes me really happy is, and this is going to sound so lame, is being around people that I love. That's really, yeah, it's really lame, but it's true. I feel like when you're surrounded by like family that you love and people who support you and like good friends, you get kind of boosted and you feel really good. You feel like spiritually good. What I've learned from life is the most important things we have are our own lives and other people. Love, I guess, love and happiness are the two of the most important things that people in life strive for, and yet they're both intangible. That was a bit of a lame answer, sorry. Tenebrae Profundus, how does it feel to be considered an elder goth? Methuselah's unite. Am I an elder? There's a little bit of debate as to how old you have to be considered an elder goth. I know I look a bit older at the moment just because I've put so much weight on, so I look a bit older than I usually do. I still get ID'd. I still get ID'd when I have no makeup on, which is quite nice. I guess a few years ago I might have considered myself an elder goth, and now I'm just like, nah, you gotta be like late 30s. I will take this title, whatever. I will shoulder it, and yeah. Mochi Motel, what's your favourite thing about yourself? I like that question. Makes one think of the positive aspects of oneself. I kind of like my imagination. I like my imagination and my creativity. I don't like all parts of my brain, but I like that part. I like that I have like real vivid dreams and can easily visualize stuff. I didn't realise until recently that that's a thing that not everybody can do. So I like that part of myself. MLM41494, for your book you're writing, you're going to use your real name or you come up with a pen name? I've thought about that, but I think I'll use my real name, but I'll use just like initials. My name's not like super memorable or easy to say or something, so I thought I'll just use initials. It would feel weird if I used a pen name. Anna Opheliac, could you please do more transformation videos and vlogs as well, maybe some cooking videos? I miss you posting so much. I am so sorry. Yeah, I know, it's been a really nightmarish, shitty few months. I've got like a list of cooking videos I want to do. I just never bloody get around to them. Actually, I've got one that I need to edit. I wouldn't really call it a cooking video, although it does involve food. You'll see. I've got also a list of transformation videos, and there'll be vlogs again. Samantha JK9, will you ever have merch? I do have merch, actually. I haven't really mentioned it or promoted it or anything, but I always have like a little link to this merch shop. It's just through Spreadshirt, because I think that their stuff's actually quite good, the stuff they make. Like I put off doing merch for absolutely ages because I wanted to make sure that it was like good, that was good quality. I make badges and buttons myself with my little badge machine. Oftentimes I just like give those out to people. If I have some with me and I run into you, I'll give you a badge. Yeah, I do have a merch shop where one can get like t-shirts and tote bags and that kind of thing. It's always, what have I done? Always linked in the description box of every video. Oh, for goodness sake. Okay, I've lost my place again. This is probably getting kind of long. Purple Rain, if it's something you're interested in, could you film a video about mental health? Yeah, again, something I've been meaning to do for absolutely ages. Maybe I'll get onto it soon because it's an important thing and it's something that a lot of us struggle with. So many just nice comments on here. I love you guys. You're amazing. Badly Broken Problematic. Have you ever done something revolving around the spiritual realm, like Ouija boards, crystals, tarot cards? Yeah. I mean, I've done all of the above and more and weirder. My mum was a tarot card reader when I was growing up, so I've always been into that, and I've done Ouija boards and I collected crystals as a kid. You name it, I've tried it. Smacky Joe, do a porn video? Nah, don't think so. Delilah Galvin, are you planning on doing any thrift shopping? It'd be cool to make a project out of all the fabrics and unique look. Yeah, the reason I tried to do that when I was visiting my hometown a few weeks ago, because like there's this massive secondhand store where I used to buy all my stuff from. Like I said in a previous video, I tried to make a video there, but then they told me off for filming, so wasn't able to. But the trouble is I haven't been able to do that in Germany because thrift shops aren't really a thing there. Like, I think correct me if I'm wrong, but I've heard that because this is kind of taboo around death and like owning things that belong to dead people or whatever, you know, antiques aside or whatever, people don't really do that. Like you don't see thrift shops and op shops and stuff around in Germany like you do in the States or here in New Zealand or anything, so I haven't been able to do that. Well, Mr. Earl's taking me out to dinner tonight, so I'd better wrap this up pretty soon. Millie May 89, I would like to ask how you cope with your anxiety. Hope you're keeping well. Hope you're keeping well too. Millie May. Yeah, I mostly cope with it by medication. I'm not gonna lie, my anxiety's fucking garbage. I always say it's a panic disorder because people so often misinterpret what anxiety is. It is a disorder, it is ruinous, it is awful, and I hate it. I've got various techniques for trying to keep myself calm, and it's really difficult, but all I can say is that I'm just very thankful for the medication. But yeah, again, I will one day do a video about that with all the tips and things that I've learned over my life that help one deal with that crap. Alison Cujo, how do you keep pushing forward? Advice. Well, you kind of have to. What does stasis look like? If shit's hard, life is hard, if you've got lots of stuff to do that you don't want to do, you just have to keep moving forward. I think Ellen DeGeneres said, it was a very good piece of advice that she said when she did Finding, what was it called, Finding Dory. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. Keep moving forward regardless of whether you want to or not, or you feel like it or not, or you think you can or not. Little steps, just keep moving forward, even if it's small steps forward. Just keep moving in the direction you want to go, however that looks for you. Sorry, that's not maybe super good advice. Chasing Babs, what's the worst skin breakout / sunburn experience you've ever had? Well, here in New Zealand, which is the skin cancer capital of the world, and I am a ginger, we have no ozone layer, which means there's, you know, no real protection from the sun, so I can be like lobster red in 10 to 15 minutes, and I am not kidding. I think the worst sunburn I remember having was I had gone swimming at this lake one day with a couple of friends, and I didn't want to ask either of them to put sunscreen on my back because I was too shy or something, and I had this like low cut swimsuit at the back, and my back got so bad, like the rest of me was fine, but like I was so badly sunburned on my back that I was like in tears, I was in agony. It was like blistered and peeling and bright red, and I couldn't lie down, I couldn't take a shower. It was like, oh, it's so painful. Failing Miserably asks, what are the longest and shortest lengths that your hair has ever been? Well, the longest it's ever been is down to my butt. When I was growing up and as a teenager and blah blah blah, I had and also in my early 20s, I think I had like really long hair down to my bottom. At one point, my whole family convinced me that I should cut all my hair off, so I did, and it was like that long, and I hated it. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to actually leave it there because it's getting kind of late in the evening and Mr. L wants to go out to dinner, and like I said, then I've got to get ready and go on a plane. So, I'm quite nervous. So thank you very much for watching. If you've not already done so, please subscribe to my channel and all that. So as always, take care of yourselves, be nice to each other, and I'll see you next time. Bye!